Constance was Duchess of Brittany and Countess of Richmond between 1166 and 1201. Constance was the daughter of Duke Conan IV by his wife, Margaret of Huntingdon, a sister of the Scottish kings Malcolm IV and William I. Life and reign. Constance's father Conan IV had reunited the Duchy of Brittany in wars with Henry II of England. After the wars with Henry II, Conan IV faced rebellions from some Breton nobles. He appealed to Henry II for assistance in putting down those rebellions. In 1166, Henry invaded Brittany in order to punish the local barons' revolt. In order to gain complete control over the duchy, he forced Conan IV into abdicating in Constance's favor and betrothing her to his fourth legitimate son Geoffrey. 5-year-old Constance succeeded him as Duchess of Brittany and Countess of Richmond. In 1181, 20-year-old Constance was forced into marriage with Geoffrey. On August 19, 1186, Geoffrey was trampled to death in a riding accident during a tournament in Paris. Constance thereafter became the effective ruler of Brittany. However, on 3 February 1188, Henry II of England arranged for Constance to marry Ranulph de Blondeville, 6th Earl of Chester, one of the most powerful earls in England. Though Ranulph used, not consistently, the style Duke of Brittany, he never had the control of the duchy, and is not known to have played an important role there, and the Bretons, as well as Constance, never acknowledged him as Duke Juriaxarus, and excluded him from the government of the duchy. In 1191, King Richard I of England officially proclaimed his nephew, Constance's son Arthur, as his heir in a treaty signed with Philip II of France, to promote her son Arthur's position and inheritance. Constance included him in the government of the duchy in 1196. In response to this act that thwarted his projects, Richard summoned her to Bayeux and had her abducted by Ranulph in Pontorson and imprisoned in St. James de Beauvron. He spread the rumor that Constance had been imprisoned for matrimonial reasons. As a result, rebellions were sparked across Brittany on her behalf and Arthur was sent in Brest. Richard demanded that hostages were delivered to him in exchange for Constance's freedom. The Bretons agreed, but Constance and the hostages remained imprisoned and rebellions went on. Richard eventually bowed to growing pressure and had the Duchess released in 1198. Back in Brittany, Constance had her marriage annulled. Constance took Guy of Thouars as her next husband between August and October 1199. Between 1198 and the time of her death, delivering twin daughters, Constance ruled with her son Arthur as co-ruler. Throughout these years, Constance advised her son towards a French alliance, pursuing the policy of her late husband Geoffrey II. Family. William, Constance's brother. As a girl, Constance could not inherit the duchy at her father's death if she had a brother. A charter by Margaret, Constance's mother, seems to show that she and Conan had at least 2 children who had died young. However, 2 charters made by Constance and her son Arthur towards 1200 mention a brother of Constance, William Clericus. As a boy, William should have inherited the duchy after Conan, according to Everard. Henry II's forcing Constance's father into abdicating in 1166 was meant to prevent any son of the Duke from inheriting the duchy. Marriages and issue. Constance and Geoffrey had 3 children: Eleanor, Fair Maid of Brittany; Matilda, Arthur I, Duke of Brittany, Geoffrey's posthumous son. Constance and Guy had 2 daughters in 1201. Alix of Thouars, she married Peter Mocloc, the first Breton ruler of the House of Dreux, and Catherine of Thouars, Dame of Vita. She married André III de Vita, who was noteworthy for rebuilding the Château de Vitré. Contradictory sources state that Constance might have had another daughter, Margaret of Thouars. She was the first wife of Geoffrey I, Viscount of Rohan. Death and burial. Constance died, age 40, on the 5th of September 1201 at Nantes. She was buried at Villeneuve Abbey in Nantes. Constance's cause of death is debated. Some historians believe she died of leprosy. Others believe she died from complications of childbirth shortly after delivering twin daughters. Still others believe that she had leprosy, leading to a difficult delivery, and ultimately to her death shortly after the birth of the twins. Thus, both leprosy and childbirth are possible causes of death. Media. Constance is a character in the play King John by William Shakespeare, in which she has several very eloquent speeches on grief and death. On screen, she has been portrayed by Julia Nielsen in the silent short King John, which recreates John's death scene at the end of the play, Sonia Dresdel in the BBC Sunday Night Theatre version, and Claire Bloom in the BBC Shakespeare version. She was also played by Paula Williams and Nina Francis in the BBC TV drama series The Devil's Crown. Ancestry.